September's astrology is about to be crazy. And I know you're thinking it's literally the beginning of July as I'm filming this. Why the heck are we talking about this now? Because starting at the beginning of July, we're going to start to see a succession of transits and events, with the transits doing what they do, where things are going to start to build, kind of like snowball into each other. Imagine this for a moment. We snowball and we snowball and we snowball and we snowball, and it's down the side of a mountain, right? Eventually, that big snowball starts an avalanche. The avalanche is in September. I don't say this to freak anybody out, but also one of the things in my practice that the spirits like to let me know about is when shit could hit the fan, okay? If there's gonna be a time of the year, look at what is happening in the world already. I'm not saying it's not already in a place, right? Astrologically, though, just continue to prepare, take care, embrace. I rest my case, okay? If you're doing stuff you know works for you, keep it up. If you know you need to be doing something that's gonna work for you more than whatever you're doing now, make the changes. With what's going on in the world, and also astrologically, this is not really a time to like play around about it. I hate to be the bearer of the bad news, guys. That's just where we're at. That's what we got. Okay, so since that's what we've been dealt, and since this is where we are, September is going to be a massive harvest time while simultaneously turning us and pushing us in a new direction. This is going to happen on an individual level. It's also going to be happening on a societal level. A lot of the stuff that's going on that's going to be kind of majorly impactful when we get to September is going to have to do with Aquarius and society and how we relate to each other. And you've heard the conversations about Aquarius and rebellion and all of the other stuff, right? That's been going on for literally years now. Oh, okay, so that stuff too. I don't know exactly how it's going to ground, but what I do know is that all the planets that have to do with Aquarius are going to be turned around in retrograde. So we're going to be revisiting some of the other crazy stuff that's happened since Pluto went into Aquarius. Wild, which that was November 2024. Okay, time track. Take it back a second. So the other part of this is that we have the eclipses coming up in September. September 7th is the full moon lunar eclipse. That's the one in Pisces. September 21st is going to be our Virgo eclipse, and that's a new moon solar eclipse. Part of the reason that this is going to be so intense is because Saturn is going to be in Pisces with the North Node, with Neptune, with the eclipse. Crazy. Okay. We are quite thankfully not going to be in a Mercury retrograde. We're going to be coming out of a Mercury retrograde during this time, so we're not going to have to worry about the Virgo South Node pushing us back in time. I think that one's going to be a little bit of a one-upper or a plus for us. Mercury is going to be in Libra for the Virgo eclipse, which I think is kind of interesting considering we're coming out of a South Node in Libra starting earlier this year. What Justice chapter tried to start 2024, but for whatever reason, you were still in transition and things still weren't lined up yet. September is going to be a time where things might actually align. There's still going to be some things that we're getting into place over the next kind of like year and a half after that, like a year after that. We're still going to be with the Pisces and Virgo axis for another about year. So just a heads up, but about the transition. Also, anybody who has long-term strategy and long-term game that you are already marking for yourself, okay, the go-getters. Could be hustlers, but I personally am trying to move away from that kind of lifestyle and while still getting my stuff done, right? Okay, but just like you know what you're doing, you know how to do it, you know to go and get it and how to get it done. Long-term planners, the go-getters, okay? That time, around that time, towards the end of the eclipse season, on your mark, get set, go. There's no coming back. Do what you need to do now, but understand that that's going to be a time of like, if you've cleared out the enemies and the space up until then, I wouldn't want to be in your way. That's what I'll say. Yeah, catch me in my own lane. Thank you so much. So if you feel like something is coming or like there's about to be a big turn of events, September. Okay, because we have the North Node in Pisces right now and we're being kind of still pushed into a lot of different spiritual aspects and spiritual practices and kind of not really knowing, but knowing at the same time. Okay, Pisces and the North Node combination, crazy. Because the North Node is like this crazy high up in the sky thing that you know you have to do, but you don't really know how to get there. And then Pisces is the veils. So you're like walking through the veils trying to get to this purpose, and it's like a lot of transition, sometimes confusing, sometimes blinding, very symbolic a lot of the times, but when you know, you know. That's the other part of it. Okay, once we get into October, so September, crazy change. When we get to October, this is the other important part. If you've listened this far, listen up. When we get there, it's like wet concrete and it's gonna start to dry. getting undone what happens in September into October gonna be really difficult. So use it to your advantage if you're really trying to get some stuff in place and like ground it, you know? But if you're moving in a way that you wouldn't want to stay around, it's gonna take some time for it to be unwound and unbound. So be mindful about how you're moving. I say that with the seriousness of what's happening in the world right now, understanding that astrology affects all of us, whether we believe in it or not. And also I say that because chaos sometimes creates room for us to go and do the new thing that we've been asking to do. However you sit with that sort of situation. So September is gonna be kind of like a tornado or like an abrupt pickup, and then we're gonna get placed somewhere. Placement? Oh, okay, spirit. Placement. We're gonna get placed somewhere. Not debased, okay? Placed. And then when we are placed, that spot, that's yours. Everything you've been working on, everything you've been doing, everything you've been turning, everything. Okay, chaos in September, making sure that that thing that you have earned really in the spirit comes grounding on the earth, and then your feet hit the ground. Okay, let me get used to this new environment. Let me see what I really did. Let me learn how to be in the new now. It's gonna be different. So I just want to let you know, because I kind of mentioned it in my previous video, but I didn't do like a full breakdown. And even this is like still general, even though it's more full than the other one that I did. Okay, but anyways, there's a lot of different transits. It would be hard to get like this one and this one. We would literally be sitting here with only the details of that stuff. So I won't get super like in depth around that. Just know that it's basically every single planet. Whoa. Yeah, and when basically every single planet is like, time to go, we don't really have a choice. It's time to get up and go. So right on. Here we are. I'm laughing now, right? Okay, let me remember that I'm laughing now when we get there, just in case. I've been saying it for probably like a month and a half now. September is going to be one of the most intense times of the year, which is crazy to think about because look at March. Do you remember how intense that was? Because I do. September is going to be really intense too. And it's going to be intense in a different kind of way. March was intense with destruction and showing us the truth so that we could let go of things and move on and go into a new chapter. We're still kind of filtering through some of that stuff with the transits that are happening right now. But when we get to September, that's going to be intense of like, okay, these are the decisions I made. This is the direction I went in. This is how I got here. This is what I've earned. This is it. This is the final place based on these transitions that have been going on. And of course, there's still change in the world, but it's going to feel like a finality. There's going to be a lot of finality in the feeling come October after September time. So let everything align. Now that you know, because we've been going through, let's look at the eclipses on like a big scale, right? 2021 to 2023 was our South Node in Scorpio, and that was asking us to ground transformation and death for like a year and a half, 2 years. Good God. Then we had the South Node in Libra from 2023 to earlier this year, 2025, asking us to balance the scales from what happened 2021 to 2023. Again, thank God. Thank you, the gods. Thank you, the spirits who love me true, because I couldn't have done it without you. So now coming into the South Node in Virgo, we're getting out of some of the contracts that we had to go through when the South Node was in Scorpio, while simultaneously rebinding up some new contracts for the next 9 to 18 years. The eclipses are a long time. And shout out to Virgo, okay? Love you, Virgo. Plus we got to focus on our health and come back to some comforts a little bit and work on growth in life. And it's a little bit easier than that balancing and also the power grabs of Scorpio and then the balancing of Libra. So if you have been in transition since 2021, and think about what happened in 2020. There's a lot of stuff that changed, okay? A lot of us have been going through a lot of change because of what the world was going through then, and we're still going through a lot of change, okay? So it is as it is. Let there be change, and may it be in love, and may it be in truth, and may it be in free. And you know what? Thank you, the highest spirit, for revering me. So there it is. This upcoming eclipse season solidifies the changes that have been happening since 2021. That's a long time. That's a really long time. There's still going to be some things set into place come early 2026 with that eclipse season, and then in the late summer, early fall time with that eclipse season of 2026. So we still have some time to make the adjustments and make the changes all the way on the long-term changes in our lives that have been happening. But just understand that September is going to be kind of finality, a finalizing point. It is the only eclipse season where we have both the Pisces and the Virgo eclipses while the Pisces and Virgo axis is active. That was a mouthful. Anyways, this video was way longer than I thought it was going to be, so gratitude, reverence, and love to you. Keep up the brew. Keep doing what you need to do. I will too, and I'll talk to you soon. Keep up on your stuff, okay? I'm being so serious. September is about to be like wildfire. It's gonna be crazy. I don't know exactly what's gonna happen, but just take care of yourself, okay? I love you. I'll talk to you soon.